Welcome back to the Think Bigger Real Estate Show. I'm your host, Justin Stoddard, here today to talk about a done-for-you, ready-to-go platform that allows you to scale your business up to 4 million GCI. Yes, you heard that right. I'm excited to introduce today's guest. He's really innovating in the real estate brokerage space that's in a way that you probably haven't seen before. So before I introduce him, let me remind you that inside of the Think Bigger Real Estate group on Facebook, we go deeper on these topics. We'll actually introduce today's guest, and he'll be available to answer additional questions. So anyway, excited to have him in there. So let me go ahead and introduce then this person that you've been waiting for. His name is Rudy Kusuma. He's out of California. Rudy, it's a pleasure to have you on the show here today.
Pleasure to be here, Justin. Thanks for the invite.
You bet. You know, it's really interesting, Rudy, what you're doing, because I do hear a lot of agents, right, who speak to me as kind of a coach consultant, who say, hey, Justin, I would really like to see what are brokers doing for agents, right? Sometimes there's a little bit of a value void there, right? Some are doing a great job, don't get me wrong, but others are like, I pay a lot of money and I'm not exactly sure what I'm getting. And I feel like you're kind of taking it to the other extreme where it almost feels like they're on your team, like they're signed up for almost like an agency, right? Talk to us a little bit about your model, and then we're going to get into specific nuts and bolts of what you do for agents. Because if you're listening right now, I want you to know that yes, Rudy has an opportunity for you to partner with his brokerage, okay? But that's not what this is about today. It's really about giving you the knowledge that Rudy has that he applies in the businesses of the agents that he partners with, so that you can take nuggets away and apply them to your business. So with that being said, Rudy, talk to us a little bit about, again, about kind of your unique brokerage model.
Justin, you are right. I got my license in 2007. I hang my license in a Coldwell Banker, RE/MAX. In fact, for the last 5 years, my team and I, we sold about 500 homes a year. But I keep on asking myself, what is the value of a brokerage, right? Because other than a place to hang license. So me, as a team leader, I realized that we developed this brokerage model, your home sold guaranteed realty. It's as if I'm the broker that I was looking for. So we are unique in the sense that we help real estate agents to grow and develop their own millionaires real estate sales team. And that's essentially what we do. It's not just a place to hang license.
I love it. I think people don't get into real estate to be broke, yet all too many real estate agents are exactly that. They're broke. And I don't think you can put all the onus on the brokerage. I think everybody takes complete responsibility for where they're at. I do love what you're saying though. Like if you say, I want to get in the business and I want to hit wealth, I want to have a multi-million-dollar business, yet there's so much that I don't know, right? I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to scale up to the levels you're talking about. Like it's almost overwhelming for people. And so they continue to kind of sputter along. Let's talk about some of the kind of the offerings that you bring to the table as a brokerage and or as an agency, right? People can join your brokerage, or they can say, look, Rudy, I just want to hire you to help me with this component of it, right? Or maybe of all the components of it, right? So whether, again, you may be totally happy with your brokerage, awesome. But you may say man, I would sure love to have somebody that's already mastered kind of like the lead generation business. And you can hire Rudy for that. So talk to us again about kind of different components that you step in and kind of play a part in agents' businesses.
Yeah, I truly believe, Justin, the future of real estate is that either you join an existing team or you build your own team. As technology becoming more and more advanced, right? So the solo agent model, the traditional solo agents model, is going to be very hard for you to win. How are you going to compete against the mega team, right? So you could be the mega team. And I think we position ourselves, Justin, in a unique way because I have done it. I am doing it. I am building my own team. In fact, this year, we are on track about 700 transactions in this year, 2021. So everything that we teach you is not ideas. These are alongside with me. So to answer your question, some of our team leaders, some of real estate agents partner up with us. Let's say their weak points is lead generation. Then we have our marketing team that can help with that and this same marketing team that's doing my lead gen, I generate about 3,000 buyers and sellers a month. The same marketing team that's working with me and my team, helping these agents. So you mentioned about inside sales team. I think one of the weakest point real estate agents to scale is you got to ask yourself, how can you be good without you actually doing it? How can you be good without your direct involvement, right? So first, we're going to help you and coach you. But then in addition to that, we have the resources because they're doing it for me. Right? I'm doing it myself. We're just scaling up. So we scale up our marketing team. We scale up our inside sales team. We scale up our admin. We scale up our. So that's how we are able to do this brokerage model.
Fascinating. So again, people can come in and say, I love this part of the business. I'm not good at this part. Rudy, I want to hire your agency to help me with inside sales, right? I realize I need to follow up with the leads that I'm getting more quickly, more frequently. And frankly, I'm bad at it. And so is my team. I want to hire your team to do that portion of it for me. Is that what I understand?
For our team, for our team leaders here at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, yes, we do that for our internal team. But for our audience who's listening to it, if you have a desire to build your own team, I think the bigger question is, how are you what is your unique selling proposition, right? Because we cannot talk about building a team, we cannot talk about scaling up your business if you don't have an overflow of business. And the only way to generate an overflow of business, we have to have a unique selling proposition. Like, how are you different than thousands of other agents in the area? I think that's part of the reasons, Justin. People want to grow, but they themselves don't have enough business for themselves. That's not going to happen. You cannot build a team without an overflow of business.
So just so that myself and listeners are clear, if they're not part of your brokerage, what can they hire you guys to do? Like, what part of that can we hire you to do?
Well, we provide free educational every Tuesday at 10 o'clock. We actually share with you a little bit on how to grow the business, how to craft your unique selling proposition, how to give you a backstage tour of our team model so you can see how to put together a team system. So I do that, Justin, every Tuesday at 10 o'clock for 2 hours.
And is that for everybody? Like, anybody can come watch that, or you have to be a part of your agency or part of your brokerage?
Anybody, any of your audience, any real estate agents, ambitious real estate agents who have a desire, because I believe, Justin, the more we mastermind, my strength only on team building. Okay, so that means I will learn a lot from you because everybody has a different strength, right? So I share my strength, which is building a team. I do that every Tuesday at 10 o'clock. But then by doing this, Justin, I learn so much from different people about many different aspects of real estate. Yes, but anybody is welcome. Fascinating
model. Again, so people can either kind of team up and partner with you in your brokerage, or they can just come and get free knowledge, right? So let's talk about, maybe give us a taste of some of these things. Let's start with maybe kind of lead qualification, right? I know that's something you guys are expert at. What's maybe one tip that anybody listening here today could take away when it comes to qualifying leads?
Well, the easiest way is on the message. There are two types of marketing, Justin. One is a branded ads, and the other one is called less branded, right? So most of the agent, when they get started, Justin, they put less branded means there is no agent's face, there is not information. It's like free home evaluation, for example. The challenge with that kind of lead gen, the one that's not branded, yes, you're gonna get a lot of you're going to get a lot of quantity, you get a lot of leads, but the quality is a little bit lower because they are not expecting to speak to a real estate agent. Here at our team, Justin, we run branded ads. So for example, we put our unique selling proposition, your home sold guaranteed or I'll buy it. To discuss the sale of your home, call Rudy at, put our phone numbers there. So think about it. We run that message on radio, on billboards, online. It doesn't have to be expensive. It could be Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. Those are all free. But the point is that the people that's responding to that message, that branded message, they're expecting to speak to you. They already pre-qualify yourself. So that's a much higher quality of leads. And then when they call in the office, we ask a very simple question. Hey, Justin, the reason of my call is because you request a free report on the guaranteed sale program. Are you planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months, for example, right? So for those that's not ready to make a move in the next 3 to 6 months, we put it back into our CRM, and then we deploy our follow-up system. So that's the next tip. You gotta have a CRM, because in the past, when I first get started, Justin, nobody teach me this. So this is my CRM, a yellow notepad. The problem with the yellow notepad is going to disappear after like 2 weeks. So you got to have a CRM, ideally a CRM with a built-in artificial intelligence, so the follow-up is automatic. The follow-up could be done by telephone, we call them, as well as online retargeting, Facebook retargeting. So now everywhere they go online or they turn on their cell phones, your message is there all the time. So that's what I meant, Justin, when I say follow up. It's not just a telephone, but we leverage technology to do the follow up. The idea is we want to keep them warm, so they're more likely to do business with you instead of you are begging for business.
Yeah. So number one, I love the fact that you have this proactive approach, right? Where you're out kind of finding people, and that number one, the quality of people that are coming to you are not tire kickers, right? I have friends and clients that work with, I'll just say a big company that generates leads that starts with a Z. I'll let everyone kind of fill in the gaps from there. And he said the quality of lead is so poor. And again, that's not always the case, right? This is a couple different agents' experience where they say, I deal with tire kickers all day long. They just want to go look at houses because they think it's fun. And I'm required, because of our relationship with Zillow, to take that, right? To go deal with these people. And he said it gets very exhausting. It gets very tiring. And what I hear you saying is that you're not looking for tire kickers. You're looking for active buyers and sellers. And you are able to qualify people even before you ever talk to them, right? Most people think of lead qualification as something that's only done once you're in conversation with people. Whereas what I hear you saying is, no, like you qualify them before you ever get to the conversation based on what you're putting out there in your advertisements.
Yes. What's your message? What's your message? If your message is free home evaluation, then don't be surprised if you get the people that's curious, like you mentioned just now, right?
Yeah. Very good. And then a question for you about CRM. Do you have a preferred CRM? You mentioned one that has artificial intelligence. Like, what do you prefer to use right now?
Well, my recommendation is the CRM, the good ones is the one that you use. Because I've met so many real estate agents, Justin. People say, oh, what's the secret? Everybody's looking for the secret. There is no secret. You got to use it. But me personally, I'm using Commission Inc. Okay. But that doesn't mean, but whatever you use, you got to use it. And how do you tag the CRM? The CRM, most people, Justin, they're using the CRM just like a super over glorified Excel spreadsheet. The CRM, you got to maximize, you have to put your plans, the follow-up system, it's all done the CRM. It's not just a place to store first name, last name, and email. Because if that's all you use your CRM for, then just use an Excel spreadsheet.
Interesting. What other information are you looking to put in there? I mean, like every interaction, you're making notes?
Yeah. So for example, the notes, the follow-up. Now, the cool thing when I mention artificial intelligence is this. So let's say you're thinking of buying a house in Los Angeles between $1 million to $2 million. So I put all your criteria as a buyer. So I put your first name, last name, and all your buying criteria. And then when I have a new listing coming soon, or when I was about to go to a listing appointment, Justin, can you imagine? I go to my database, I already have the buyers. So right now, I'll give you an example. In my database, I have 60,000 buyers already that I accumulate over the years. But this is not just first and last name. These are all, I know what their buying criteria. Many of them already attached to my buyer's agent. They're actively looking. I have the proof of funds. The money is ready to go. So before we go to a listing appointment, I input, let's say I go to a listing appointment, I input it into our database. So now when we show up at that listing appointment, instead of saying, hire me, I don't have the buyers. I'm going to advertise your home looking for buyers. We said, look, hire me, Justin, to sell your home in 123 Main Street because I already have over 123 buyers looking to buy. In fact, look, this is their proof of funds. This is all their criteria. They've been working with my buyer's agent now. They're looking to buy homes just like yours. So now when we show up at the listing appointments, we show up with offers, multiple offers. Now think about it. If you show up at the listing appointments with a CMA, this is what traditional agents do, or we show up with our buyers in waiting database, with proof of funds, with multiple cash offer for your home, which one the owner of the house are more likely to hire?
Yeah. I love it. Talk to us a little bit about the difference between an ISA and an OSA, right? Outside sales agent, inside sales agent, and maybe in addition to that, kind of what you do differently from other ISAs and OSAs.
Yes, I think so. Inside sales. So let's back it up a little bit. So when we build a business, the traditional solo agent, I first get my license in 2007. So my job as a traditional solo agent, we have to lead generate. That's the marketing team. And then we have our admin. Admin is the one who answers the telephone, input it into the database. And then we have our inside sales. Inside sales is the one that calls the leads, check the timing and motivation to see if they're ready to buy and sell now. That's the inside sales. So the inside sales team job is to check the timing and motivation, see if they're ready to make a move in the next 3 to 6 months. And then we book it face-to-face to our agent partners here. So my agent's partner just show up literally in a buyer's appointment, in a listing appointments, because we already, the inside sales team already pre-qualify them. And then our TC team is the one that process the paperwork. So essentially the team model is the same like you guys when you are a solo agent. The only difference is that we break it down. So each person has a specific role in the transaction, right? So the secret to building a team is specialist. You gotta be a specialist. And the reason most real estate agents, Justin, they're working hard, but there is no result is because you are doing the job, like in my team, you are one person, but you are doing the job of 5 different people, and you wonder why it's always running out of time. That's the reason why, Justin, I believe either you join an existing team or you build your own team. But the point is the future of real estate as a solo agent is almost impossible because you are competing against the mega team and you are competing against technology company, multi-billion-dollar company. How are you going to compete if you are one person running around doing all this by yourself?
It's great insight. Yeah, I think the only way to compete is you'd have to have such a different value proposition. You would have to not look like a real estate agent, right? You'd have to really be an advisor, a wealth advisor for people's real estate portfolio. And I think for me, that's the 2 paths that people have, right? Well, maybe 3 paths. One is you go to work for one of the big tech platforms, like you go to work for Zillow, right? And earn less. You build your own real estate team, right? And I think the tips and the platform that you've built is fantastic. You join a real estate team, right? And then I'll add, I think that the only solo agents that will survive the upcoming are those that really specialize in creating such a different, unique client experience that doesn't feel like anything else out there, right? Where they really, again, almost have more a feel of like an estate attorney or a wealth advisor or a CPA, where it's highly professionalized, highly, it feels less like a sales interaction and more like a consultancy interaction, right? And I think that's one path that some may want to go. You know, I teach people down that path, but I agree with you. If you're gonna play the part of being a typical real estate agent with a typical real estate agent value offering, you know, I think you've laid out the case pretty well for us. Is that, yeah, you go to work for a team, or you create your own team. And I think probably most would prefer to create their own team if they had the help and support on how to do it, right? Some like don't have an appetite to do that because they have no idea where to get started, and they don't have a skill set in that. But you're bringing that to them, saying, we can help you do that.
Yep. And the problem in real estate, everybody just copy each other. But then, as you know, Justin, the problem with that, according to the National Association of Realtors, the average real estate agent's income is like, what, $20,000? So the problem with copying the industry norms and standards, you're going to get what everybody else got. So I think the secret to be successful is look at what everybody else doing and just do the opposite.
Yeah.
Because what everybody's doing is not working well.
I agree with you. I think you and I both have unique paths to help people with that. Right. One is build a great team yourself. And, the other one is to really highly specialize in offering a totally different value proposition where you're more than just a real estate agent to people, right? And some have an appetite for that. Some have an appetite to do what you're doing, which is, again, I think a beautiful thing. Let's move now to the maybe kind of final question that I have for you, Rudy. In fact, before I do that, how do people get in contact with you? If they're like, look, I'd really love to learn more about building a team with the help of a group that's doing it all day long, every day. What does that look like? Like, how do they get into contact with you, Rudy?
Yes, or if you just want to see how my team works, right? It doesn't have to be joining my team, but you can take a look at how we do it. Go to www.topagentsfreedom.com. www.topagentsfreedom.com. I actually put together just in a step-by-step behind the scenes how the team model actually works.
I love it. So one more thing here. I want to ask the final kind of signature question of the show, Rudy. Obviously, you're a big thinker. You're not only building massive wealth when it comes to real estate, but you're helping other people do the same thing, really build great real estate businesses. What does Rudy Kusuma do to continue to be a big thinker? What do you do to continue to expand your own personal possibilities?
Well, we got to learn from people outside our industry, because I always like to go hang out with other successful entrepreneurs outside real estate, so that way we can see how other businesses actually operate, get inspiration, and we apply here. In fact, the team model that we've been discussing today, if you look at any other businesses, it's nothing unique. But in real estate, I think real estate is the latest industry, the last industry that experienced disruption. Any other industry being disrupted, as you know, just in travel agency completely gone, right? So I like to hang out with other successful businesses, go to a different conferences outside business, and see how they think and how we can apply that in our business. And I believe, this is what I believe, Justin. I think we marry our mission. Like, what is our mission? Like, here in our team, our mission is to help 1,000 real estate agents, for example, right? So we marry your mission, but you did your model. Meaning the model may change. Like, when I first get started in the business, I used to do a lot of short sales, right? So the model may change, but the mission is still the same. But most real estate agents, I think, Justin, they're struggling because they get attached. They're married to their model and they don't like to change. So because they have personal attachment, right? So I think if there's one thing I would like to leave behind is that you need to know what is your mission, marry your mission, and be flexible. Date your model, because as time change, we gotta be flexible enough to change.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Rudy. Really well said. I'll have to say one of my favorite movies of all time is Rudy. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. It's fantastic. Seriously, one of my favorite movies. It's inspired me, and you've done exactly that today, Rudy. Just like the movies inspired me for years, you have inspired me today. I love that example. I think back about just this past week, Apple rolled out, kind of their entire kind of marketing events for the app, for the iPhone 13. And if you as a real estate agent are saying, I'm only going to learn from people inside the real estate industry, you're missing a lot. You're missing a lot. And what you just shared with us there, Rudy, is this concept that there's a lot that we can learn from professionals and industries and business owners and businesses outside of our industry. So great point. Such a pleasure, my friend. Thank you for everything you've shared here today. Just a wealth of knowledge. Again, if you're looking for ways to add value to your own business and begin growing a real estate team, I would highly encourage you to go to topagentsfreedom.com. And I look forward to going there and learning myself. So Rudy, thank you so much for all that you've shared today. And for anybody listening, I encourage you, these 3 final words will sound familiar to you, but I mean them deeply. And they are go, think bigger, which is exactly my mission, to which I am absolutely married to. Thank you so much, Rudy. Appreciate it, my friend.